So we'll wait for a couple of minutes. We'll start at 3. Let everyone join and then we can start. Swapnil, you can hear, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and
Okay,
clear.
great. Okay. Another couple of minutes, we'll start. We'll wait for a few more attendees. Currently, we have so whoever is attending, you will not be able to speak here since this is a webinar, and in case if you feel you want to chat with us, you can just put down your queries in the chat box in case you can't hear or you can't have any uh, you're not able to connect, not able to hear, etc., etc. Okay. Pratik, students are facing some issues with respect to joining in. One of our colleague is saying, I've just put down on the WhatsApp. Can you just address that query? Meeting ID, something, meeting passcode, etc., etc. They are getting this. This is the link which we have shared, right, earlier.
Yes, Pratik.
They can directly join.
Yeah, they can directly join via browser and also from the Teams.
Okay. Okay. No, because they are getting some meeting ID, passcode, etc., etc. on the Teams. I don't know what is that. Maybe they can. Uh,
They can join via browser also, Chrome. So
okay.
though they don't need to download Teams.
Oh, okay. We'll wait for a couple of minutes more because there are students who are facing this. We got around 4 to 5 calls for that. So we'll wait again for a couple of minutes. We'll start. Can we put something on the chat box in case if your people are joining in late? We'll be starting. Okay, 3-5 we start. We start with the quick introduction to the speakers, and then we can continue. Okay, so people who have faced some difficulty joining in, I think they have joined. We'll wait for another minute. Okay, so there are a few people joining in from KC College also. We'll wait for them. Pratik, if you can check the chat box in case if people have put in certain queries by any chance. I mean, because
No queries yet. Yeah.
okay. Okay, I think we can start, and then later on, if more people join, we can anytime connect with them. Okay, so quickly to thank you everyone for joining the webinar. Today we are going to cover certain things in terms of what cybersecurity is, what are the trends, and how it is going to be, and for you in terms of the future in cybersecurity. Okay, so quickly introducing the speakers I have with me. I'm Pratik Sonavne. I represent Institute of Information Security, and I take care of the sales for India region. And along with me, I'll have our senior trainer, who is Swapnil, who will be taking you through the entire technical aspects of what cybersecurity is, how it is taken into consideration, and what services lies in, and what career lies in the cybersecurity space. Okay, so Swapnil, can you just move on to the next slide, please? Yeah, so you all must be knowing that a lot of organizations have been affected by the cybersecurity attack, right? So be it Zomato or be it Big Basket, or this all are big names and which you deal day in and day out. You buy stuff from them. You have your credit cards, debit cards registered on them, right? So this is something which will ring a bell, as in like this is something very big, and these are some big hacks happening around the world. So these are just a few. We have taken the names of such organizations because they are which we use it in day-to-day life, right? And they all have been hacked over a period of time, and a lot of data has been exfiltrated out of the organization and have been up for sale in the dark web, right? So Equifax, again Twitter, all of them. Many, I mean, in fact, while we speak and while we deliver this particular webinar, we speak to the many of the organizations are being hacked or are being tried to hack, right? So why it is important in terms of cybersecurity, and why it is important that you look into cybersecurity as a career, because there are, I mean, obviously a lot of domains associated with the cybersecurity and a lot of things to do, and in fact you get very, I mean, it's a pride to but defend the nation virtually. You get to defend the nation or your organization to virtually, right? Because you will be protecting the data or the critical data or the infrastructure of that particular organization from getting hacked, right? So this is something which you'll be getting into in case if you get into cybersecurity, right? We'll be taking you through 2-3 videos. We'll be obviously Swapnil will be taking you through the technicalities, and he'll be showing you how the attack actually happens and how what are the repercussions to it and what it does to you as an individual also, in case if you yourself has been hacked or your friend or someone from your family have been hacked, in particularly with respect to any financial fraud, be it your debit card, credit card, or recently there have been a scam going on with the electricity, kind of an like your electricity bill has not been updated and you must be reading it in the newspaper, right? Army person have been conned, or an police officer have been conned, or insurance guy has been conned, something like that, because you tend to believe they send you messages in such a way that you tend to believe, and you go into a panic situation wherein, okay, fine, this is something, it should not happen, my electricity should not go, etc., etc., right? So in that heat of the moment, they take that panic, and lure you into sharing your OTP, or downloading certain softwares, etc. And then in turn, they obviously, the entire amount is siphoned off by the hacker, right? So this is something which we'll be showing you in terms of video and the technicalities. Okay. Swapnil, you can go on to the next slide. So in cybersecurity, just not restricted to यार मेरे दोस्त का Facebook account hack करना है या Instagram account hack करना है या mobile hack करना है, etc., etc. But a lot of things depends on, like there is assessment, we have GRC, the security operation center, and the device management. Okay, there are a few domains in which you can work into, right? All the nitty-gritties of each domain where you can go into, and how it is in terms of it is taken into consideration with respect to cybersecurity, that Swapnil will be taking you through, and then we can go ahead. Swapnil, over to you. We can later on we can show that video, and then you can start.
Okay, thank you, Pratik, for the quick introduction about cybersecurity. Let me take it from there. Okay, so cybersecurity has been divided into a multiple category. It is not just about just to hack someone's system or just to hack some devices by breaking their passwords and user account. It's far worse than that. We are not just hacking a system. We are even hacking a infrastructure like IoT devices, infrastructure like telecom infrastructure like OT, like power plants, marine industries, airport authorities. So it's a vast area to be covered when we talk about the security and hacking of the system. So basically, it has been divided into three categories. First is your assessment, second is your GRC, and third is your DFIR. So it has been divided into three categories out of that. So when we talk about assessment, so what is assessment is all about? So usually nowadays, a term is circulated around the globe, like that is called bug bounty program. You have seen a multiple blogs or articles or even a interview calls also, like someone is getting a bug of $1,000, $2,000, even $10,000 or $50. So what is that is all about? This is nothing. It is a part of our web application security. So what we do in assessment is we got the URLs, we got the links, and we do the security testing out of there. So what do you mean by security? We look for the bugs, we look for the flaws inside their codes, inside their logic, inside their API calls. So we usually try to do that. So that's come under your WAPT, web application penetration testing. Then after the WPT, there's one more step is there, which we called code review. Code review is like we review their codes, whatever codes, front end and back end codes are available. We review it. We look for any flaws at code level that's come under the code review. Then we compromise the assets. Compromising assets mean the systems what we are having. So what type of systems we are having in a corporate environment? There are multiple systems has been interconnected inside that. If we talk about network, there are networking devices like routers, firewalls, switches, then we have servers, then we have database servers, and we have the end user. So end user like laptops and systems and workstations are there. So we can even compromise these devices. So we do the assessment of that also. Then in terms of IoT, blockchain, and cloud security. So as cloud environment or cloud computing, it's quite new to the market, but security is quite different with the traditional ones because we don't have a control over the infrastructure. We only have a control over the elements or the services which we are using. So their security is quite different as compared to the traditional environment. So because of this cloud environment or cloud computing, the attack vectors has been increased because we got it's easy to procure an environment or an infrastructure which we can use for any kind of attack. Then we have a red team assessment. Red team assessment is like war game. We constantly attack one environment and we just looking for how we create a disruption in their environment with due permissions. We have a written permission or consent from that company. With that, we try to compromise the environment by any means, either by means of web application, by means of networking, by using social engineering techniques. What is social engineering technique? Like by duping them or by luring them to click on some attachments or links which contain some payloads. Once those payloads got installed in their environment, they generate a backdoor for us. Once a backdoor has been generated, that means we have a full control over their system. So once we have a full control over their system, then we can do whatever our objective is. So red teaming is mostly object oriented, means first we need to decide what is our objective. We just want to disrupt their business, or we want to exfiltrate some data, or we want to modify something in their environment. So that's come under the red teaming infrastructure. Then critical infrastructure, as I already told, like OT operational technologies like your PLC, SCADA, automations in your industries are going on. So we can even hack those environment, like we can hack a power plant, we can hack a power grid, you can even compromise marine industry, or you can disrupt the air traffic also. So that kind of things come under the critical infrastructures. So we do compromise this and we do generate a report for that. So and after this, the bug bounty programs come. Means you can, there are multiple platforms are available like bug crowd, integrity and all. You have to register there as a researcher, and then you will got the links out of there which you can test. If you are able to find a vulnerability out of there or a bug out of there, they will give you a bounty over it. Means they will compensate your work with hard money. That is a bug bounty program. So these are the things which come under the assessment, right? Now we have GRC, governance, right? So governance and risk compliance. That is what GRC, governance, risk and compliance. This is the field which we consider in our security as a white collar job. Like you just have to do the auditor. It is the auditor for the infrastructure, for the IT infrastructure. So there are multiple types of frameworks are there and multiple regulation bodies are there. Either it will be international one or it will be state oriented. State oriented means by a country, central government or a federal government, right? So these come under this. So every government generates certain policies and rules which that particular industry need to follow. That's come under the governance part, and we have to do the audit. Means we have to cross check, cross verify whatever policies are there, is that company is compiled with that or not. So there are multiple compliance standards are there, like BCM for business continuity and management. Uh, in this COVID era, when this first wave arrived, most of the offices went into the work from home situation. So how is that possible? The work from home, how is that even possible? That is possible because of BCM, business continuity planning. They have already forecasted such kind of a situation, and they have already created a norms for that. If something came, people are not able to come to the office, how the business will going on, how the workers, how the employees will work in the environment. So because of that, the smooth execution of work from home concept or IT industry is still working in the COVID era. It is because of the BCM compliance standard. So BCM will talk about that only in any situation, how the business will continue. Then we have NIST frameworks for security, GDPR for your data protection by the Europe. Then we have ISO, ISMS standard, which called 27001, like how you need to secure your IT infrastructure. That's come under the ISO. Then for card industry, we have PCI DSS, then HIPAA for medical, and so on. We have multiple standards for that. And for this kind of a thing, the auditing part has been taken care. So that is also being part of a cyber security. So it's a one of the field which compiles of cyber security. Then disaster recovery, audits, cloud audits, cloud security frameworks. Then we have a framework from RBI for in terms of India for banking system. We have a framework for airport authorities by central government. We have a framework for marine industry, power sector industry. So we have a multiple frameworks which is being created by our central government. And we, if these guys want to do a business in that industry, they need to comply with that. Now, who is going to test like they are compiling or not? For that, this GRC field come into the picture. The auditors, the third party auditors come into the picture. So for the implementation of these standards, cybersecurity consultant or the compliance consultant will be required. For testing also, cybersecurity consultant required, and the auditing part also, cybersecurity consultant will be required. Even the new policies and the procedure creation for a company in terms of security comes under the GRC. Now we have GDPR, DFIR, Digital Forensics and Incident Response, in which our SOC is also being a part of it, Security Operations Center. So basically, your forensics has been it's been divided into two categories, two to three multiple categories like SOC, forensics. So it has been divided into this. So what is SOC? SOC is more like analysis of your logs and network activities on the go. So we collect the logs from multiple devices. It will be a log of anything, whatever is happening in that device over the network that has been connected and collected. And then we do the analysis over it with the help of a tool. We called it SIEM tools, SIM tools. We called it SIM tool. With the help of that, we create a multiple rules. And if some certain condition has arisen, that rule will trigger and generate a notification. That is a day-to-day task of a SOC analyst, and there are multiple hierarchies are there in SOC analyst like L1, L2, L3, and admin task, rules creation, just analysis, and so on. When we talk about forensics, suppose a system is already been compromised, a incident has already been happened. So your system is compromised, everything is happened. Now we have to do the in-depth analysis or root cause analysis, how that attack has been carried out. So how we perform this with the help of forensics or with the help of forensics tools. So what we do is we try to extract the artifacts from these devices like network, memory, storage. So it's divided into three categories. We try to extract the artifact from network, memory, and storage. And there are multiple ways we try to figure it. There are multiple ways using this. We can figure it out. We can trace it down. The attacker who have attacked our environment, what type of damage he have uh, generated and what type of data has been exfiltrated from the system. That's come under the forensics. Your malware analysis, your reverse engineering for malware analysis, your threat hunting, all is a part of a forensics, right? Your incident response, like if an incident is happening, what first tasks you have to do? Then after that, what next you have to do? So the in terms of incident resolve, if some system has been compromised, first task is you need to encapsulate that system. Then you need to preserve that system, and then you need to perform a forensics over it. So this is the whole process has been carried out in terms of IR, incident response. So this is your DFIR, digital forensics and incident response field. Okay, so these are the basic three fields which we are having in cybersecurity. So
Kapil,
yes,
yeah, so thank you very much. We have been taking that into consideration, all the fields which they can enter into and how the security operation center works, etc. Can we show them how exactly it works with the, I mean, most of us must have seen that video picture, right? Fast and Furious. Can we show them a scene of that, how they take over the cars and in terms of the IoT works, etc. Can we
yes,
show them a quick video?
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So even I can explain it like how it has been possible by
sure,
the
sure, sure. You
combination of OT, IoTs, and assessment.
absolutely, absolutely. You can guide us on that.
He's in the third car. It's a guard class limousine.
Where's my team?
Where's his team?
There's no sign of them yet.
They're off the grid. They're probably just bunkered down somewhere.
I'm closing in on them. You guys ready?
One thing I can guarantee you, Don. No one's ready for this. I want every chip with a zero-day exploit in a 2-mile radius around that motorcade now.
There's over 1,000 of them.
Hack them all. It's zombie time. I'd buckle up if I were you.
Safety sensors overridden.
Thank you. Target the motorcade. And here they come.
The police caught you.
Ouch.
Oh, поехали!
No.
Police escort down.
Take out the lead and follow cars.
Поехали, вперед!
Two more down.
They're still under warranty.
Перед нами еще один. Стреляем по двигателю.
Okay, Swapnil, I think that's.
Okay.
I think we can just quickly let them know what exactly happened and how this happened and how it is possible, because I saw cars coming out of the showroom. I mean, unattended cars, people driving the car also directly lost control over it. Can you just take us through how this happens and
Yes,
how?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So how it has been started? It has been started with a scanning of a system. How the system, sorry, it has been started with they have scanned a number plate. How even it has been possible to scan a number plate. First, they have compromised web cameras, or you can say the security cameras. It is being quite possible nowadays to compromise a security camera if they have not done a proper security of it, or even there are multiple ways are there. We will see. I have one demonstration for you, live one, how we can do it. Okay, so they have compromised it, and they using that they determined like what is their target, the number plate. So with the help of number plate, they have figured out their target and their position. Then they have put uh, satellite over it to track it down where they are traveling and what they are doing over it. And if you hear the term, they are using a term called 0 day. So 0 day is one of the most lethal and critical attack, you can say most devastating attack nowadays. So what is a 0 day first? 0 day is a vulnerability which is not known to anyone, means it is not known to the manufacturer. So what they have done is they use this vulnerability. It's a 0 day, mean it is not the manufacturer of that software. They are not aware of it. So way back, if I talk about like 5 years back, compromising a car or a vehicle, it's quite look sick, but nowadays all our devices or comes under the OT, or our cars has been integrated with AI, right? If you have seen the new era cars, the XUVs, we are having SUVs, we are having, they all have some sort of control. They have a GPS connection, they have an internet connection, they have uh, AI, they have a processor inside that. So once if you implanting a processor or a computer or a microcontroller, we can hack it. Okay, you are providing a vector, a surface to hack. So wherever there is a electronic device, we can hack. So cars nowadays are a electronic device, and when we are tending towards this electrical vehicle, the chances to hack these devices got increased because we have a multiple things where. So reverse parking sensor, reverse parking simulations are provided, means auto driving is also been provided. How is been possible? It has been possible with the help of AI, with the help of computers. So what they have done is they figure it out a 0 day in these chips. Using that, they compromise, they take control of these devices in that particular parameter, because all these devices talk on the basis of beacons. So they have just recruited a beacon for that, and all the devices got compromised, and they took control over each and every car in that particular parameter. If they take a car, they are just sending the controls over it to shift the system, the vehicle on a auto drive mode, and they are achieving what target they want to do. So whatever has been shown is possible nowadays. Over to you, Pratik.
Okay, great, great. Thank you for that. Yeah, so you want to cover the bug bounty as well? I mean, how it is as a career option. I mean, we have listed down two bug bounties which was recently done. You want to take up that part as to how the bug bounty as a career looks like, or many of
Uh,
them are taking it?
Bug bounty, it's again a good option for a career. Only thing is your field is decided, means you just need to work in a web application security. So if you just want to keen towards the coding part, if you are good in coding, and if you just want to test the web applications, the websites, then it's a one of the good options out of there. Only thing is it's required certain type of coding knowledge if you talk about the bug bounty, because there is no support from your team. You is on your own. It is not been you will not be treated as an employee, you will be treated as a freelancer or a bug bounty researcher. You just need to register on one of the platform, and there you need to carry out this thing. Whatever is happening in a bug bounty, same thing we are doing in a web application testing or web application penetration testing, Only difference is in web application penetration testing, we are a employee of a company. In bug bounty, you are your own and links are available. You need to test. So first come, first will got the reward kind of a concepts come under the bug bounty. If you have detected something, same thing has been detected by someone and he has reported with a proper report. So he will got the bounty. You will not going to get any bounty. You will just got the acknowledgement letter for that. Like this bounty has already been taken or this vulnerability has already been patched by already been under the consideration and there is no bounty for this kind of a thing. So that is uh, the thing what comes under the bug bounty part.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you can move on to the next slide, please. So here, what we have done is, I mean, it usually, Swapnil, can you just go on to the next slide, please? No, not this, the previous one, the bug bounty, which yeah. So here, I mean, again, we have been one of the supposedly call us the powerhouse of the bug bounty programs because again we are on the top spot. And recently, one of the I mean, the biggest bounty was given to one of our hackers from India, is based out of Bangalore, and he found a bug bounty. He found a bug in the Apple. Okay, so in and Apple obviously awarded him around 75 lakhs for that. So it was, I mean, you can read about that particular bug, and obviously with in terms of a lot of bug bounties and people around them who do this as a career, like Swapnil mentioned, they are a freelancers and only work on that. But once that is hit, I mean, you hit a jackpot like Bhavik Jain did, right? Around 75 lakhs bounty he did, right? This can also be a career option, like Swapnil mentioned, a lot of other careers wherein you can do assessment, you can get into GRC, the compliance related things, or security operations center, wherein you will be the front runner for stopping that particular attack from happening, right? You will be detecting it in real time as to the attack is happening, etc. Right? Or forensics, in case if there is any ransomware, you must have heard about a lot of ransomware happening here, and or recently there was a big ransomware attack on one of the biggest aviation companies in the Europe, and because of which a lot of like flights were diverted from that particular area to other airports, etc. Okay, so these are the attacks are so massive that you can't, I mean, you can't stop them, and then getting back to normal takes around more than if it is big as that one, it takes more than 2 to 3 days to start the operations to normal, right? So this lies something in the bug bounty and the other space in terms of the cybersecurity space. Okay, moving on to the next slide, I'll tell you the trend, what it lies ahead, how much the market is growing, etc. How much in terms of salary which you will be getting if you get into cybersecurity, and what lies after 5 years, 10 years down the lane, and what is the skill gap which we have in India and abroad, right? So that I will be covering. But before that, what I would like to do is we'll just quickly show you a video on social engineering, what Swapnil had mentioned earlier, that this is a part of the red teaming exercise or finding any application vulnerability in terms of social engineering or finding out something to get into the organization, or we're taking advantage of that particular employee who we can target, and then later on getting into the organization, etc. That we will be showing. I'll just quickly take you through a video of DEFCON. It is one of the biggest, we call it the biggest get together for the hackers and try new things over there. So one of the things I'll be showing then, and then Swapnil will be taking you through a quick attack, and he'll be demonstrating how exactly the attack happens and what all things. Then you can relate to the video, and then later on we can move ahead with the market size and what it lies ahead in your career and the career growth, etc. Okay. So quickly, I'll share my screen. Swapnil, if you can stop sharing your screen, I'll
Yes,
just
yes,
start
sure.
my screen.
Yeah,
Just
Pratik, you
let me know.
can. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
Pratik, you can share
just
your
let me know once it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, Pratik, it's visible.
Visible? Okay, just let me know the
Doing it. And
sound.
if they're not doing it, you know all these other businesses aren't doing it either.
Sound is okay?
Yeah, sound is okay, but just maximize the screen.
Yeah, I'll maximize. Sound is okay,
Anyone
right?
with
I
a
was
phone
waiting.
and an internet connection can do social engineering. But I was curious, what can a hacker with serious coding skills do?
Well, DEF CON is the world's biggest hacking convention. It's hacking everything, hacking social, hacking hardware, hacking software, hacking various systems.
I asked Dan Tentler, a well-known security researcher, to turn all of his firepower on me.
I did get into quite a number of things that I found.
So what were the first things you did? How did you start hacking me?
I quickly found your Squarespace blog and had an idea. Basically, what I did was created a bogus Squarespace site and sent an email to you, a fish asking you to go to this website, run this certificate installer.
And I did it, because
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
So once you ran that, it gave me access to your computer, and I created several fake pop-ups that looked like system pop-ups that would ask you for your credentials.
You didn't even have to have my passwords.
No, you gave them to me.
I gave them to you.
Yeah. So I stole your 1Password keychain.
And 1Password is where I store all my other passwords. So effectively
And
by...
your social security number and your Amex stuff and all your stock trading and bank information. I can send email to everyone in this room as you. I am you right now if I want it to be. If my evilness is working correctly, it should actually be taking pictures of your desktop and pictures through your webcam every 2 minutes. And I have been watching you for about 2 days now. In coffee shops, at your mom's house, on a plane. Here's your editing stuff. There's you like.
Oh my God,
looking
so this
nervous.
is literally
Every 2 minutes.
through my webcam.
Yeah, through this guy.
How badly could you have messed up my life?
I could have made you homeless. I could have made you homeless and penniless.
How?
Like,
How would you make me homeless?
Like I have control of your digital life in its entirety. I have all your credentials. I have all your access to all your financial information, all your work information, all your personal information. I can pay people with your bank account or your Amex account. I am you. I can fully impersonate. Like the only thing I couldn't doctor would be like your fingerprints.
This is like as bad as it gets.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's bad.
So it turns out that Dan Tentler is very good at his job. I mean, he hacked the hell out of me. He got everything. I mean, frankly, I want to take my computer and throw it into the deepest part of the ocean, and I want to become a hermit, and I want to never touch a piece of technology again, because holy shit, that was everything. That was the keys to my entire life.
Yes.
Yes.
So did you see how social engineering works and how it is going to be? I mean, it was an eye opener for him. Like it took everything out of his safe, right? And he thought it is protected in terms of having everything in that safe, right? So we'll quickly demonstrate as to how the entire thing works and how it is possible to do that, right? So April, over to you, and we can then later on go to the market size, etc., what it lies ahead for them. Yeah, we can see your
Right.
screen. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with what I'm going to do is I just going to bypass its login mechanism. Okay, so let me show you first with and with genuine credentials. I have logged in here with a genuine credential. You can check it here, the 8000 corporate and 8001 checking and so on. Now I am going to use one of the payload. We called it payloads, and it will bypass this login mechanism. Why it has been happening? It is happening because of a bug in their SQL query generation. Okay, it is a bug because of their database. I am able to bypass it, right? and boom, I have compromised their account. I have bypassed its account. Now I have bypassed its account. I have a full control over it. I can do anything. The same account which I have showing you, I have bypassed it. Right now I have a full control over it. I can do whatever I want with this particular admin user. So you can understand how easy to target a website and how devastating the effect of this. This is one of the basic attacks which we can carry out. So I have just bypassed the login mechanism. There are multiple ways, there are multiple variation with the payloads to be carried out. And one of the advice I'm going to provide you, whatever I'm going to show you, please don't try it, because without prior permission, it's a crime in India to compromise someone's system or account or bypassing their login credential. So it's a crime. So what I am doing right now, it's one of the test website on which I am doing. I have a concern from here, like I can do this thing with this website. If you guys not having a return concern from the owner of that website, then it will create a problem for you. Some legal issues will arise for that, right? So this is how we can compromise easily one of the website. We call it as a SQL injection.
So, Swapnil, so basically you're saying that whenever there is a stunt happening around your Khatro ke Khiladi types, don't try this at home, वैसे type से?
Correct. Don't try this home without proper knowledge and proper.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, just wanted to add any of the sites, I mean, just by seeing and certain YouTube videos, etc., you don't try to go hack HDFC or any other bank or any banking official websites, okay, and try to see whether that is possible or no. You will land up yourself into jail, and it will be a big time for you, because that is a like Swapnil mentioned, it's a crime. So you'll have to have a proper permissions etc in place, or there are policies with respect to that particular organization or web application. They have mentioned that any bugs or security, in case if you have any security issues, you have to report in certain format. Only then you're allowed to public it once they acknowledge it or they fix it. Okay, just make sure that you don't try this at home.
And one more thing I like to add in this, we like in a career options, we have a thing called SOC. So SOC is sitting behind who is monitoring from where this attack has been generating. So even they can trace it out, like what type of operating system you are using, from which location you are generating, what is your IP, what is your address, everything is traceable. So that is being possible. So that's how a tracing has been performed with the help of DFIR, or you can say SOC. So SOC is the thing which is going to trace you back from where the attack has been generated. That's why I'm telling, without proper knowledge, don't try to do anything like this. Otherwise, you will land yourself in a big trouble. Okay, now. This is the one thing. There's a thing called, whenever we are trying to attack environment, we follow certain things or phases. So every time there's a phase called reconnaissance. That is the first phase of a hacking. What we do is we try to gather the information about the person. Once we gather the information about the person, then we go for the second phase of the reconnaissance. That is the uh, social engineering. And after that, we do the delivery of a payload with the help of a social engineering. To do the social engineering, we need certain information with the help of reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is just to gather information about a person. We called it as a target, about a target. It can be a person, it can be a group of person, it can be a company, organization, or a state, means a country, it can be anything. So how it has been possible? There are multiple ways to gather information about a person. Your social media, your social networking websites are one of the greatest data providers for for social engineering attacks or for the attackers or for the hacker. With the help of that, we can perform it, right? So I'm just going to try one of the reconnaissance kind of a task with the help of Google. We called it as a Google docking. Means what? There are certain queries I can craft to get information what I have been required. So it's a Google language is there. We called it Google docking. Using that, I am going to find some Aadhaar cards on internet. Okay. So what is this been suggesting? He have searched over the internet and he have figured it out wherever he find a data related to Aadhaar card, he have figured out these locations for me. There are multiple locations has been provided. You can even have Aadhaar card copies and all. So it's that easy to perform it. Now they mention this website. Sorry. This is a website and from there I am inside their database. So there are two types of vulnerabilities are there. With the help of reconnaissance, I am able to figure it out the critical data. Your data is not been encrypted and you are not providing a proper control over your database. Anyway, like I'm just simply having access of their database. They have a critical data out of here. You have a sensitive information, right? So where is that? Copy of Aadhaar card. We have multiple things, photos, copies, Aadhaar card informations, and so on. So with the help of that, what I can perform? I can do anything like I can craft your identity. Nowadays, Aadhaar card is being linked with the banking system. I can wipe out your bank account with the help of Aadhaar card. With the help of this, I can even figure it out how many SIM cards you are having. Once I got the detail of SIM card, I can do a uh, wishing with you or smishing with you. I can swip your SIM card, means I can register a new SIM card with your number and that SIM card will be associated with me. Once I got your Aadhaar card and SIM, then I have a full control over your digital identity. Wherever you have submitted your Aadhaar card, everything will be under my control. I can do the transfer of uh, financial assets from your account to some black accounts or so in my account or any account. I can withdraw money out of it. I can do hell out of things from this vulnerability. Like I've just done a reconnaissance with just a 3 or 4 line of a code and I got this information. With the help of this info, I can further create a different type of attack. So it is that easy nowadays. That's why it has been required. We need a multiple consultants in field of cybersecurity so it can be minimized. Okay. Now, Google hacking, there's a one more thing is there, Google hacking database. Using that, we can have a feeds of live cameras, which is not been configured properly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the live feeds of certain cameras which is not been configured properly without hacking. I'm not going to do any kind of a hacking. I'm just going to use the misconfiguration which they have been done. Right. So Processing. Okay. Okay, if you have observed, I have also used the same kind of a code in title or index, or after that I have write something. So they are also using the Google docking, and with the help of that, let's try to figure it out. Misconfigured video cameras. And again, I am suggesting if you are going to try this at your home, be do at your own risk, because sometime what is happening is there are people, they put malware deliberately on this link just for to attack any guy. So maybe you will hit a jackpot, or maybe you will end up compromising your system. Okay, so this is one of the live feed and it has been generating from here. You can change it. People are not moving out of here. Let me have this one. So it's a live one, 19/7/2022, 3:25:18 a.m. So I have to first figure it out from where this feed has been generated. Okay, so let's have a look how we can figure it out. So there is, okay, this has been covered with the username password. I need to break the username password first, so I'm not going to do that. Like multiple cameras we are having, and we are having a feed from multiple cameras. Look like a bird cage to me. So if I want to figure out where this camera has been placed, so I just need to copy their IP address because it's a permanent IP, public IP. So public IP has been registered. It has been registered and it is country oriented and a specific region oriented. So IP info DB. This is the IP. Staircase 1, 2, 3. Verify. I have missed or what? Look up. So it's from Germany, Hessen region, and I have a coordinates over out of here. So let's just copy the coordinates. Go to Google Map. Just paste coordinates. And this is the pinpoint location for this camera. It will be under this area, this much premises. So that is how we generate a reference sets and we trace it down the location where it is being placed. Now I have this, I have a camera feed, I can compare it and I can see. So I have just generated for this. So it is inside somewhere, and maybe in this building or somewhere in the nearby in this area, there will be a building inside that this camera has been placed. Okay. So that is how usually we attack. There are some of the small attacks which we have shown, like how easy to carry out a attack nowadays. Right? Over to you, Pratik.
Okay. I mean, I was just seeing what all things you can find out. I was just wondering whether you find out my address also.
I can do that if you want.
No, no, thank you. Thank you very much. No issues. Thank you very much for demonstrating that. We'll move to the market trend, what it lies ahead, and how it will be helpful in terms of career in case if you plan to take into cybersecurity. So okay, the entire cybersecurity market has been growing like it is growing exponentially over the period of like almost for 5 to 6 years now, and it is going to grow over next 5 years also. Okay, and with a rate of more than 10 plus 12 plus, is uh, the growth rate as what we are going to see. And this is across the globe. Okay, that we are going to see massive hiring in terms of cybersecurity, as well as spending in terms of cybersecurity, because we see a lot of times we are seeing that the attacks are happening day in day out, and the ransomwares are happening, the financial frauds are happening, and again it is growing exponentially. So we will need people who will be defending, and you can open up any of the reports which says that cybersecurity skill gap is there, and we need people in the cybersecurity space. We need to protect our critical assets, we need to protect our nations, because you must be aware of the war going on currently with Russia and Ukraine, right? So Russia is also, so a lot of hackers have been trying to get into the systems. They are trying to destabilize the financial sector in terms of getting into the system. So these are nation state actors, and they are sponsored by the state. So when we say nation state actors, they have a lot of funding from the government, because they can take you down. Say for example, imagine your entire since we are using, I am giving an example of electricity. We are using smart grid, smart meters, everything is we are using smart LEDs, etc., etc. Imagine a nation state actor coming in and then trying to hack into the smart grid of the entire city, and they can bring that electricity down. Okay, and this has happened in the past, right? You must be aware of the Mumbai's electricity had gone down for almost more than 6 to 8 hours, right? They say that it was a failure of a grid, but we know that it was a hack, and it was hacked by nation state actors, and they tried to bring down the entire smart grid system, which was associated with the electricity board, right? So this is the level at which they are going to work, and they are going to bring down, and they are going to disrupt. And of course there will be a loss in the business. There will be a lot of repercussion in terms of finances, and all that in terms of bringing down the system. Okay, so that is what it is happening around the world, and we need to protect them. That is why cybersecurity is something which we will have to and we'll have to work together and get into the cybersecurity space and protect our nation, not only the organization which you work for, but also the nation which we are going to defend, right? So this is the market trend, and how we are going to grow, and what are the spending going to be. So we have category. I mean, there is a report. I can share the references also later on. You can go through the report in detail, so that you also understand the how big the cybersecurity space is and how it is growing. Okay, we can move on to the next slide, and then I'll just let you know which sectors are spending how much, and how we can target. Say, for example, you are from the EXTC. So, April, you can move on to the next slide. So you're from the electronics background or the computer background, okay, and you want to target some aspect, or you are from the mechanical background, right? So you'll have to think on that lines. Okay, how does this help, or like we showcase the car hacking scene, right? So in case if you are automobile engineer, you'll have to think on that lines. What security lies, how you can secure that particular device in a good way, right? One sec. So, Apnil, you can go back on that slide. So that is something which you can think on. Okay, right? Cybersecurity is going to be in all the fields, and it will be required in all the fields, because we are going to go. We are in an industrialization. See, we are in a phase of IIoT. Okay, industrialization with Internet of Things, right? Everything is going to be connected. Your washing machines are connected. Your AC is connected. Your cars are connected to Alexa. Your mobile phones are connected to Alexa, etc., etc. Right? So this is something which you can see on the screen. I mean, which sector is going to spend how much on the cybersecurity, like in terms of hiring, or getting devices or software related to the cybersecurity. like if you can take into organization, the government organization is going to spend more than 15%, right? And manufacturing segments is going to spend around 10%. So this is something which the market is going to spend, and of course they will require a lot of human power to enable this in terms of bringing it to the on the ground, right? To the cyber security. Yeah, we can go on to the next slide. So when I say the skill gap, so it is going to be a worldwide skill gap. Obviously, India also plays a role in the filling the gaps, because again, with respect to the population, with respect to the gender, the demographic which we have currently with respect to the world is more, right? So in 2019, as per one of the reports in 2019, we had more than 3.5 3.9 million jobs which were unfilled. Okay, and this is growing, right? This is growing, and this is and it has not, I mean, in the cybersecurity space, every out of 10, every 3 jobs are going unfilled. Okay, there are no people, there are no takers for that particular job, and this 3.5 million jobs is now gone down a little bit, but there is going to be a need in terms of cybersecurity people, skill development in terms of cybersecurity, cloud coming up, industrialization happening, digitalization happening, 5G is coming, 6G is coming, right? So we will need people in the cybersecurity space. So in fact, India alone will be needing 1 million. So this has not come down, right? Okay, this was 2 years back. This is the same status as of now, that we are short of 1 million people in the cybersecurity space, right? So this is what lies in the cybersecurity. When we say take up a career in cybersecurity, and um, you see cybersecurity as your career while working in your core domain, right? So an IT engineer or an IT software engineer working in its domain, developing software, but he will be developing software in a secure manner, so that, like Swapnil demonstrated, the application which was vulnerable could be exploited. Right. So you'll be developing your application securely by learning certain cybersecurity skills, or developing that application securely, right? There are certain things which we will have to take care into while developing that particular application. Same similar lines on the IoT, uh, the electronics engineer or the mechanical engineer or the civil engineer, etc. Because when I say civil engineer, you are going to build smart buildings, right? Smart cities are coming up. So what all things you will be taking care of in terms of cybersecurity? So that is something which you'll have to think, right? And that lies ahead in the next 5 to 10 years, right? So and very important, what happens if I get into cybersecurity, and what is the average salary which I'll get, how much experience I'll have to have in terms of cybersecurity, and in case if I have a experience of around 2 to 3 years, what lies in the cybersecurity, because that is something which obviously will also be a concern for every one of us, because we'll be choosing cybersecurity, right? So an average, this is an average salary. uh, 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 I mean, a fresher who wants to get into cybersecurity, and he joins as a security analyst. So average salary will be around 4 to 5 lakhs, right? So this can be, again, this can vary from company to company, right? It can also be 6 lakhs. It can also be 3 lakhs, but ranging will be around uh, on that line. So this is an average basically we have taken, and you can earn up to a crore if you go up to, you climb that ladder and you go up to the level of CISO, right? So we have shown you what exactly lies ahead in your career path in the next slide. So that is something which you can have a look at, right? So this is how your career path would look like, right? From an intern, once you enter into the market in the corporate world, you start learning about cybersecurity. Then you zero down, like Swapnil had earlier taken the assessment, the GRC, the Security Operations Center, the forensics, etc. Okay, so that is something which you can get into, and then obviously climbing up the ladder over a period of time, so you'll obviously enhance certain skills in terms of doing certain certification, or be it cloud certification or network certification, red teaming, OSCP, etc. There are a lot of certifications there, right? And yeah, post like over a period of times, you'll climb the ladder, and CISO is something which everyone looks up to, like when he joins as a cybersecurity analyst or someone who wants to get into the cybersecurity. CISO is nothing but Chief Information Security Officer. So he basically takes care of the entire security like model for that particular organization, how it has to be implemented, the roadmap, the current maturity of it, and how do you want to take the security to a next level in coming years, so that the organization is protected, the critical assets are protected, right? Again, CTO, CIO, Chief Technology Officer, Chief Information Security Officers. Okay, these are the top level which you can reach up to, right? Once you start a career in the cybersecurity space. Okay, so this is a career path you are going to take. This is from my side. And next slide, please. I think we can open it. So these are certain details which you can go. We can share this particular slide with you. And this is with respect to specific like GRC or assessment or SOC, right? We have certain things mentioned for you, like from 0 to 2 years, what you can do, a fair understanding. This is, I think, related to the GRC, like ISO 27001, what it lies. So ISO is nothing. ISO 27001 is nothing but information security standard which is followed across the industry. And there are certain controls which you need to follow. This is followed across the globe. Again, like the PCI DSS, the payment card industry data security standard, it is followed across the globe. It is the same. You'll have to follow it wherever you are working. In case if you're going abroad for job, or you're going for MS, etc., there also you will come across the similar controls which are followed across the globe. So that, in terms of, you can get into certification of that particular thing. You can get into CISA, CSAM, HIPAA, GDPR, like all the compliance related thing, right? So that are something which you can go in stage. Obviously, when you are at a stage of 3 to 4 years of experience, you will need certain uh, uh, career enhancement, in terms of you need to reskill yourself, or you need to upgrade your skills, right? So that is something, those certifications you can do. We can move on to the next slide. I think we can skip the slides. This they can go through once they have. Yeah, once they can get hold of the PPT, we can share that PPT with them, and they can go through the things. And there are certain references which from which the reports were pulled, and which we had shown them what exactly happens. And yes, this is overall what lies in the cybersecurity. And we can open the forum for question and answer. Swapnil, you want to cover anything? Anything left from your side?
No, I don't think so. Anything is left. We have almost touched each and every aspects of cybersecurity.
Okay.
So let's move to Q&A session.
Okay. Pratik, we can open the Q&A session. We
Yeah, so I have published it, so you can check the Q&A section.
Q&A, I can't see anything. Acha, publish session. Okay, sorry. How can a mechanical engineer make prospects in cybersecurity? So, Apnil, you want to take this? Okay, sorry. Zero to hero, how to start the career? Harshit. We'll take this first.
Okay.
So,
So
you want to take this 0 to hero?
yeah. So zero to hero, it's like it's totally depend upon your background and your understanding about the fundamentals of uh, computers or the networking. So if you want to go from zero, like you need to go from networking part and the basics of computer. From there, you need to start. And with that, you can join any course which are available there in the market. And from there, you can become a hero out of there with your dedication and practice is required. More, everything is practice, irrespective of you are coming from which background. The main thing is your practice and understanding of the network and computers. So that's how you can achieve. First, you need to clear out your all the basics, like how the OSI is working, TCP is working, then different types of network topologies, what is network, what is web applications, what is mobile and all. Once you understand that, so that will be your zero part. And to become a hero, then you need to think on the prospect, like how you can compromise that machine. You are already aware of their infrastructure, you are already aware of their working of these things, web application also, it will become very easy to compromise to figure it out the bugs out of it.
Okay, next question, Swapnil, here is uh, one sec, I'll just scroll up. Scroll down. I think I'll have to scroll up again. Yeah. How can a mechanical engineer make prospects in cybersecurity?
How can a mechanical engineer? That's good. It's depend upon your, what we'll say, uh, how much time you want to allocate to this field, because you have to start from the scratch. You have to again go with the same thing which I have told first, the basics. If your basics are clear, or if you are ready to give that extra with your batchmates or with your the person which is going to start with, you need to give certain amount of extra time, because you are not from a computer science background. If you are ready to give that extra, then you can easily uh, become a achiever in this field by clearing your uh, basics related to computer. If your basics got cleared, then it will become very easy for you to be inside a field of a cybersecurity. In any field, you can go to assessment, you can go to GRC, you can go into DFIR. It's totally up to you. Only thing is your basics needs to be clear. If you give that extra time for basics, then you can become a cybersecurity consultant or a SOC analyst or a forensics expert in this field.
Okay. Third question we have from Lionel. It's what is the scope for OT security in India?
We have a very wide scope for OT security in India, because recently government have introduced the frameworks for OT security, not the OT security, for power grids, power plants, airport authority, marine authority and all. And they have given a deadline to compile with the security standards or the frameworks. To compile with that, they have to go with the security of all these structures, and these structures are which have the most amount of OTs has been incorporated. So we have a very good and bright future in OT in India, because we are in a starting phase right now. So it's a huge market, I will say.
Okay.
For certain industries like airport and all, it's 2023 is the deadline. For marine industry, it's 2023 deadline. So they need to meet a deadline first. So for that, they need to go for an initial assessment. And after that also, once you have done the assessment of your devices, again on the quarterly, 6 monthly or yearly basis, you have to again go for the assessment or the audit of these devices. So it's a uh, broad roadmap ahead in India for OT security.
Okay. Next is the question is what is the first step to enter in security system like which basic also person. Okay, so you want to know what is the first step to enter the cybersecurity space and what basic course a person should have.
I think that Pratik, you can answer better.
No, I mean like you can cover the basics. I mean, we can take that up. I mean, there are a lot of people who enter the cybersecurity space, not
So
necessarily by doing anything, but yes, you can cover that. We can later on we can have a
okay, to
quick
enter in a
glance.
cybersecurity, you have to know the understanding of how works. That is the first basic requirement, how network works and how a system works. Once you are clear with that, then you need to go with the flow. Like you need to keep on testing the vulnerable machines. There are multiple vulnerable machines which are available on the internet free of cost. You have to do a practice over it, and once you are thorough with the practice with all the commands and all the logics, then you can go for any interview or any job profile, wherever you want, you can apply for that. And at a entry level, I will suggest if you are having a CH certificate, it will be a added advantage for a entry level, for a fresher, which will justify your knowledge. If you can start it with the bug bounty, so it will justify your knowledge or your understanding. If you don't want to start with that, then you need something or some kind of a certification. So it can be any institute specific certification or CH certification or any kind of a certification. It will be a added advantage.
Okay. And also like to add here, there are a lot of institutes which provide like the cybersecurity courses in terms of from the basics uh, up to the expert level, like the forensics, if you want. And you can search them on Google. We can find out. We are one of them who provide this particular courses, and that is something which you can do. Okay, but as Swapnil mentioned, you need to have a clear understanding of what exactly the networks are, how it works, what the applications are, how it works, etc., so that it can give you an added advantage in terms of cybersecurity. Right? Okay. Any more questions we have, Pratik? We'll wait for a few minutes in case if there are any questions, or else we can.
We
No.
have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are all the exams needed to be given for a cybersecurity to perform as an ethical one? Sorry, I didn't get the question. Which are all the exams needed to be given for a cybersecurity to perform as a ethical one? Okay, maybe uh, they're checking if any exams are needed to be given so that they can perform all this cybersecurity related things in case, I mean, ethically. Any exams you recollect, Swapnil, in case if they want to give or
No exam will give you a certificate of like you can free to do any kind of a hacking.
mm,
You need a written concern from the
that
owner
particular
of that
organization?
system,
Okay.
that organization or the company or anything, to perform the task of a hacking.
Okay. Okay. Just like what Google, Facebook, everyone has that policy, right? Security disclosure.
Security disclosure, bug bounty programs.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
have to register with them first and then you can carry it out. No certification will give you a license. It's not a
Okay.
license task. Like if you feel like if you have a certificate, you have a license to hack any system. It is not
Okay.
like that. If you are hacking a system without their prior permission, you are not ethical hacker. You are a black hat hacker or you are a criminal, in short.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I switched off the camera. So basically, we'll have to take written consent from the organization, whichever you are going to hack. I mean, perform certain permutation combination on their website or on their infrastructure, or else they should be a part of a bug bounty program, or they should be they should have certain policy like a lot of big organizations usually have like their security disclosure, etc. And then you can perform that. And also once you have performed and you have found certain vulnerabilities that cannot be disclosed public, because that is something which the clause, a lot of companies have the clauses, unless and until they patch that particular vulnerability, you're not allowed to put it on social media, or else you will be again behind the bars. Swapnil, right?
Yes, you can post that on social media once they give a return
They give,
concern,
yeah,
like this vulnerability has been patched,
patched.
and you can showcase this on your account. If you have a return concern of that, then you can paste it once it has been patched. If you have been showcasing without the security has been patched, then again it will consider as a crime.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, then another question we have, I'm a mechanical engineer, so it is difficult to understand or enter into cybersecurity for me. Okay. So like I think Swapnil, you already
I,
mentioned that you need to clear out all
yeah.
the basics before entering into the cybersecurity, or maybe understanding more in that terms.
Right, it's totally depend upon your understanding or how much you want to be a part of this field. It's totally depend upon that.
Can Swapnil, can, I mean, a lot of mechanical engineers, I think we have two second or third questions here with respect to the mechanical
I
engineering
think,
focusing on cybersecurity. Can
Pratik,
they focus on
we
IT? I mean, sorry, the OT part. I mean, the operational technology. Can they work on that lines? I mean, with respect to the OT environment, the SCADA environment, etc.
so the question why we are having from most of the mechanical engineers because of the electronics, like mechanical and electronics combination, they have a field for that in which usually the automations come into the picture, the OT part come into the picture. Because of that, we are getting this question. So for that also you need to know the basic security understanding, like the basic, like how assessment and all is happening. Then you can do the OT security also with on top, because it is been connected with the certain computer system. So how we hack our OT, we are not hacking directly to the system. We are just trying to hack the digital devices like the computers and chips which has been attached with these devices. We try to attack those devices. So with the help of that, it has been carried out. So for that also, you need to aware of traditional security or hacking concept, the ethical hacking concept. You need to aware of that. Then only you can switch to the OT security.
Okay, but I mean, that can be a possibility, right? In
Right.
case if they want to enter into. So I mean, basic idea of what the network, etc., SCADA works, etc., on that, and they can obviously work on that line. So I think all the mechanical engineers here can relate and can work onto that, and we can you can surely work into the cybersecurity space, because that is something which can help you in your field also. And when we refer to OT, because I mean, this is day in, day out for us. But OT is nothing but operational technology. Usually it is referred to all the manufacturing industries. So when we say manufacturing industries, it can be your automobile industry, manufacturing cars, etc., or it can be a company which manufactures food products also, can be a power company which manufactures like the power. It can be a power grid, a cement plant, and oil plant, etc. Anything. So OT is something belonging to that particular operational technology, and that belongs to that particular core manufacturing units.
Correct.
Okay. Any more questions we have, Pratik?
No more questions.
Okay. So we'll wait for a couple of more minutes, or we can log off at 4:30 and we can wind up. Since we have time, can we, I mean, just in case if there are more questions, we can wait, or we can just quickly go to the one of the. I'll go back to the video. I'll just showcase what I mean, what wishing can also do. So I think we have time, right? Pratik, we have time.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, okay. We'll just quickly take a few minutes only. I'll just showcase one more video. In that, I mean, an amazing display of wishing. I mean, I could, I mean, when I saw this particular video, I was like uh, awestruck with the skills which she had. I'll just share. Is my screen visible?
Not right now.
Can you share your content?
Yeah, I'm just sharing the video actually. I'll just see if it is visible now. Is it visible now?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some?
Yeah,
See if it works.
Yeah, we probably could have our star visher here make some phone calls as.
Let's do it.
Sure. Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it. Who are you gonna call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider
Okay.
and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna spoof from your number, so it's gonna look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. my husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for usage information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
gmail.com?
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry. So there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
So we call this psychological warfare. It is the new way of targeting people. Even the state-sponsored attacks has been carried out. Even the army and the military and defenses has been trained in this category. We called it as a psychological warfare. What we do is we target someone, we give a false or bogus information, and we extract the genuine information out of there, and we do change with some bogus information with the original one. So that is what is happening in psychological warfare. It's one of the advanced way of attacking a person. Pratik, you are on mute.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So in fact, I can relate this to certain calls we also get, right? Like, sir, your account has been blocked, or your this is going to go, like the one which is going right now, right? Your electricity is going to be shut off because your bill is not being reflected, etc., etc. So you get a lot of calls, right? And a lot of times our family, friends who are not aware of all this which is happening. So see, in terms of city like us also, I mean city in Mumbai, it is happening, right? I mean, you can imagine what is happening in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Here people are getting conned in like lakhs, right? There also they people might be getting into a lot of things, right? So you can, I mean, they take advantage of the panic which you go through, right? अगर किसी ने बोला like your credit card is going to be blocked, or a debit card is being blocked, or a certain transaction is being done, you go into a panic situation, right? You on that immediate basis you say okay, okay, block it, and he's like okay fine, आपको एक OTP आया, you can share that OTP, and that is the actual transaction which is happening, right? So this is something which we have to be very careful of, right? Okay, another question which we have, do you have a course for mechanical engineer? There are a lot of mechanical engineer. Okay. Yes, we have courses. So not specifically to any background or any uh, like we don't restrict it to any background. We have people who have been doing this course who are from BCom side or BA side, or mechanical engineers like you, or some other engineering background. We have been catering to a lot of them. So people usually go through rigorous training of around 6 months, and we start very basic, like Swapnil mentioned, from the network basic to application basics, etc., up to the forensics level. We take you step by step, and 70% of the entire course would be practical, so that you can practice it real time with the trainer, exploit the vulnerable applications, take the learnings, and we have certain simulation softwares also wherein you can do that um, particular attack on that particular application, and you can practice. So this is usually it takes around 6 months, and obviously we have placement guarantee in that at the end of the. So we have tie-ups with companies who are into the cybersecurity space, and in fact our organization, network intelligence, is also into the cybersecurity space for past 20 years now, and a lot of our graduates who graduate out of our course get placed into in that particular organization, and in any of the, I mean, assessment, be it GRC or security operations center, and they get placed almost. We have a record of 100% placement. In fact, last year we had almost placed 160 of them, and so now since it's a longer duration course, the number of participants here are less, and currently, and we restrict it because of the technicalities involved here to 15 per batch only, so that you get a proper attention in terms of the training, in terms of like the practicals here, right? So that is something which we can do, and we have a batch going to start from the end of July, and we have batches every month. So weekdays available, weekend is available, right? So you can anytime get in touch with us about the course. Our team will get in touch with you, and you can surely contact our team. And we have demo lectures also. In fact, you can sit for 1 week demo session, which you can sit free of cost. There's no cost associated with it, and you can check how the entire course is taken. You'll be taken through the induction, what all things will be happening over a period of 6 months, etc. And then later on, you can decide whether you want to continue with cybersecurity or you want to remain your own core domain. That is something which you can do. you can get in touch with our team. We'll be sharing the details of our team, or you can directly put in your request on the website or at info@iissecurity.in. That is something our handle is, or you can anytime call us. You have a toll-free number out there. You can call us there. Any more questions we have? What is the fees? Right, fees is something which we can share over the email. You can get in touch with us. We can share all the emails, the fee structure to you. We have EMI options as well. We have partnered with a few of the financial institutes also, who can provide you loans for like ranging from 1 year to 1.5 years with a very less interest rate. That is something which we can do, which we have arrangements for. And placement is guaranteed. Yes, placement is guaranteed. We have been doing this for past so many years, and we are promising this at this time also. And yes, do I need to learn coding? Coding is not necessarily. I mean, Swapnil, you want to take this? Do I need to learn coding, etc.?
At initial level, coding is not required that much. The amount of coding which will be required, we covered in the course, like shell scripting. We have a module, we have a session for that. So we do take care of that.
Absolutely. So you don't need to learn coding by yourself. We will take care of that. In fact, as we have been telling you, that we start from the basic. The people from mechanical background also can take and cope up with that particular part. So basically, you will have to get the logic right. I mean, coding can be in Java, can be in Python, can be in any of the languages, right? There are n number of languages coming up, like React, JS, etc., right? So you need to get the logic right. Main is the logic. That is something which the syntax changes. That is something which you will have to learn, and you'll learn over the period of 6 months, right? If I'm from mechanical background, I can join myself. Yes, absolutely, you can join. No, not an issue. What is the minimum eligibility criteria to join the group? So minimum criteria, you'll have to have minimum graduation. The graduation criteria which we have because of the thing of the placement guarantee which we give, because obviously once you do the course, you know certain things about cybersecurity which is needed in the industry. We teach as per what is required in the industry, right? That is something which we teach. So the companies out there have certain criteria, and they have certain minimum bar, like, right, the person should be a graduate. Obviously the cybersecurity space itself doesn't require any kind of a specialized, uh, specialized graduation or something like that, because that is something up to your skills. There are people who have not even cleared their 10th or 12th, and but they are still the ninja hackers and they are earning in crores, right? There are select few people who are doing that, but they are like, 1 out of 1 million, I can say that, right? But there are certain, there are companies which will have certain parameters into which we'll have to fit in, and only then we'll be able to get the placement. So yes, minimum criteria will be graduation. So background doesn't matter. Any background will work. What is the minimum eligibility? I think I have answered that question. Do I have to learn CCNA? So optional CCNA is important. I am certificate will be, add an added
At
advantage.
added advantage, it will give you added advantage for network assessment and auditing part. But for us starting in a cybersecurity, it has not been required.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will be again as it will be an added advantage in case if you have one. That is good to have. But don't go for a CCNA in case if you want to enter cybersecurity, because here we have a lot of other certification to be done over a period of next 5 to 10 years, right? So in case if you have not done, don't do it. If you have already have the certificate, you can keep it. No harm in that. In fact, you will have a better understanding of the networks and you can work. I mean, it will be wonders for you in the network assessment part. BCA, of course, yes. I mean, in computer application, you can not a problem in that, right? You can have it, not a problem. So any graduate is fine because we take into consideration all the basics, so that is fine. Am I audible? I mean, there is some question going on. I mean, is it I can't hear or something like that?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, okay. No, okay, fine. This is even fine. Okay, any more question, Pratik, we have, or we can log off? I mean, we can end the session here. I think we have cleared all the doubts, all the questions here from the course duration to eligibility to the fees, etc.
Yeah, so we have no more questions. So we have addressed all
Okay.
the questions.
Okay, fine. We can end the session. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you very much, Swapnil. Thank you, Pratik, for arranging all this. And yes, anything you require, you can get in touch with us. We are there on all social media. We have our website. You can get in touch with us. You can call us on toll-free number. And see you next time for the next webinar. Maybe sometime the next month on new topic. Thank you.